And thank you for staying with us. Our host, Bobby C., sat down with film producer Ray Negron, talking about an exciting new show entitled Batboy, a Yankee Miracle. We want to share with you the story right now.
I'm Bobby C. Today we have a special treat in studio. Joining us on the show is best-selling author, New York Yankee executive producer, and inspirational speaker Ray Negron, producer Steve Vaccaro, Field of Hope's founder Esperanza Ramirez, and president of the Grand Slam Foundation, Belkis Laura. Our lineup is here to tell us about an exciting show, Batboy, a Yankee Miracle. Guys, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's good to be here.
Ray, we go so back. I mean, I remember the first time that we did a great package on BronxNet so long ago that it's on VHS tape. I don't even think we have the footage anymore. You took me behind the scenes at the old Yankee Stadium to sit in a chair that the great Lou Gehrig once sat in a place in the bowels of old Yankee Stadium where the Iron Horse would kind of get ready for games.
Right.
Do you remember that? It's a long time ago now.
Yeah, no, listen, it wasn't that long ago. I'm not
It's
that
long.
old.
It's long ago.
But yeah, I do remember it was something that's very close to my heart. For me, that was the real stadium, the old stadium. The spirits are still there, and I go there to meditate all the time, you know. So thank you for bringing that up. It's something that I'll never forget.
Now, guys, you have a great project here, and again, Ray, I think your story kind of lends to the project that you're working on now. I think a lot of people may not be aware of how you got to where you are now with the Yankees. Tell us a little bit about being a teenager and running into George Steinbrenner.
For the 10,000th time, 1973, I'm outside Yankee Stadium doing graffiti with a couple of people. All of a sudden, a car pulls up to the sidewalk. Everybody starts to run. I trip. The man grabs me. They take me to the holding cell. Next thing you know, the man says, you know what, give me the kit. They take me to the Yankee locker room. They get me a uniform, and that night I was a bat boy for the New York Yankees because the man felt that I could pay off the damages quicker that way, and that man was the great George Steinbrenner.
So now, Ray, you're a bat boy for that Bronx Zoo team that wins in 77, 78. Steve, how did you get a chance to meet Ray and work on a project like this?
Yeah, I'm actually a psychologist by trade, so I do a lot of community work on Long Island. And one day, a couple years back, I had a class of 16 kids from a detention center, actually, and our business tour got canceled. So I had to scramble around, and a local college there was having Ray present his book, Yankee Miracles. So I thought, I didn't know Ray at the time. I knew the story as a Yankee fan. So I decided to see if I could take my kids there. I talked to his people, but I went right to Ray, and he said, sure, bring him on. So that day on, we become friends. We do radio shows together. We do different things. But he actually changed the lives of those 16 kids right then and there. So, and then I got to learn about everything that Ray has done behind the scenes, and you know, also in the Yankee world too.
You know, you guys are bringing together a lot of special people. I know Ray is going to brag about his acting talents, but he's not the only big name in this show. You got Mickey Rivers,
yes,
of course, you know, a
yes,
Yankee legend, I would say, especially from those World Series teams. What's it like to bring all these great people together for a project like this?
Yes, well, on June 24th, we sold out at the Argyle Theater in Babylon. We had Karen Sheehan, who was the Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, who was a main actor and performer for many, many years.
Played Bobby Mercer.
Played Bobby Mercer, and we were blessed to have him there. We had Joey Gian, who is from Knots Landing and has known Ray for a long time. He came on board from Los Angeles.
Played Thurman Munson.
Played Thurman Munson. So we had a lot of local talent. We had kids from high school. So Ray has that ability to bring young people and professionals all together under one stage and one roof. And
nobody got paid.
No one got paid, and we, you know, Mickey Rivers was great. I mean, he was in this dance scene that I think we're going to do again, that you can't miss that.
Now, Ray, you're no stranger when it comes to films. You've done 9 films, correct?
Correct.
So for you, this is just kind of become second nature.
Not really, because the first time that I've been doing stage, I always wanted to do it. It is a lot harder than doing films, because in films, I can do 15 takes. There ain't no 15 takes here, so you know, if I mess up, I got to make believe like I didn't mess up. One time I fell down, and I made believe like it was a part of the show. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I won't fall down in the Bronx.
All right.
You and I always talk about the impact of being able to kind of help youth. Again, George Steinbrenner gave you a lift as a teenager, put you in a prominent spot to now become who you've become today. What's it like to give back to so many different programs? We'll get a chance to talk to 2 young ladies that are kind of beneficiaries of this project. But what's it like to kind of give back to the Bronx in that way?
Well, initially it was about doing it out in Long Island because it was far enough from Broadway that if I messed up, you know, Chaz Palminteri is a big influence for me, big inspiration, and a very close friend. And he's the one that said, Ray, you're getting too old. You better do that play now while you get a chance. And he was right. And after the show, he said he couldn't come that day because he was doing his own show, A Bronx Tale, in Broadway. So after the show, he called me. He said, how did it go? And I said, I messed up a couple of times. Beautiful. The big question, did the people like it? I said, the people loved it. Ray, then now it can only get better. And I wanted to get that better in the Bronx. I wanted to bring that magic to the Bronx because this is my home and these are my people. And we had a lot of killings, a lot of murders, a lot of stuff like that with kids who had they been playing baseball, that would not have happened. One family I went to their funeral. The mother said, I didn't have the $100 to put in the baseball program this year. My son is gone because of it, because he joined that gang, you know, and this is why this show is so important to everybody.
Steve, coming up on October 19th at Hostos, tell us a little bit about the event. And you also have a big event coming up at Foley's in mid-October as well.
Yes, well, on this particular show and the other shows too, on Long Island at the Tillis Center and back at the Argyle, we have Richie Canada, who's going to be in it from Billy Joel's band. We have Dave Revels, who's one of the former singers of the Drifters. We have Robbie Rosen from American Idol, who is in season 10 with the top 16. And we have an unknown Layla Dion, who's going to really knock the socks off of so many people.
I mean it, as good as Whitney Houston.
Right. So the event, though, in the Bronx is the bread and butter one. That's the one that we're going to give back on October 19th at Hostos Community College. They've been awesome to work with, and the agencies that you're going to meet shortly are wonderful. And what they're doing is getting those community together and the kids together to play baseball. And Ray's giving them an opportunity for that to happen because, as you said before, a lot of kids in the Bronx and everywhere don't have that money to play organized baseball, and they make poor choices and join gangs and things like that. So Ray's efforts with this play is so needed. So if the people could turn out to see this show, but also to give back to their communities.
But it's
so
our efforts.
Right.
Our efforts.
Steve, great to have you on the show. We're actually going to take a time out and come back with Esperanza and Belkis to talk a little bit more about benefiting from a project like this.
And they're beautiful looking women, unbelievable.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more.